Good Sunday afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Darcy Strickland. We are on air now with an update on a breaking news story we've been following for you all day as a community continues to mourn the loss of a Cayce police officer killed in the line of duty after a 7-hour standoff. 28-year-old Officer Officer Barr was killed early this morning. We have team coverage of this still developing story. We're going to begin now with News 19's Eleanor Tabone.
We are here at the scene at Rossmore Drive, and it remains active as investigators continue to process the scene. But earlier this afternoon, I did get the chance to speak to some neighbours, one of them saying that he never expected anything like this to happen here.
Well, you know, anything can happen in any place. This is really a safe, quiet neighborhood. We never have any issues, so to hear about it, you know, this happening is you know, a little nerve-wracking, but again, it can happen in any location.
For continued updates, you can head to the WLTX website or download the WLTX app. In Cayce, Eleanor Tabone, News 19 WLTX.
Eleanor, thank you so much. Our team coverage continues now with News 19's Nija Hood, who's had an opportunity to speak with other residents in the area and get their reaction.
Members of the Cayce community stopped by the Cayce Department of Public Safety to offer their condolences in the wake of the loss of Officer Barr. Officer Barr's vehicle is covered with flowers brought by people in the community. Cayce firefighters paid their respects with a moment of silence and laid one of their helmets on the hood of the vehicle. Other community members showed their support by bringing food and donuts to the department. Terry Hyatt lives minutes away from the police station.
I've seen him by my house a million times, and my heart just breaks for his family. These guys go out every day for us. They put their lives on the line. You know, their families don't know if they're coming home. And this poor mother, I don't know if he was married with kids, but, you know, my heart just breaks.
In Cayce, Nija Hood, News 19 WLTX.
Our team coverage continues now, I should say, with News 19's Walker Lawson. He is joining us live now from outside the Cayce Department of Public Safety. Walker.
Good afternoon, Darcy. That's right, we're out here outside of the Cayce Department of Public Safety, and earlier today I went around the community to speak with residents in the Cayce area who said this is such a tragedy and they're devastated by what they've heard and seen. Here's one resident, Michael Mahoney, that I spoke to earlier today.
You never want to lose anybody, especially law enforcement. They're a special breed because they go into this knowing it's dangerous, so it's difficult.
And that's right, as he mentioned, it's difficult, and tons of people out in the community today were grabbing lunch and speaking about the situation and how devastating it is to learn about it. Also here at Cayce Department of Public Safety, there is a sheet that's actually set up behind us on the table with having people come by and just write letters and inspiring messages to the police department to send their love and condolences. Back to you, Darcy.
Walker Lawson reporting for us live. Walker, thank you so much. Our team coverage again continues now with News 19's Julia Kaufman, who spoke with people who knew Officer Barr personally. They say he was a selfless man that loved being a first responder. Julia.
That's right. Support has poured out in the Cayce community and across the Midlands from people that have worked with Officer Barr, people that say Barr touched their lives and that his kindness, his service is something they will never forget. I spoke with one woman that says Officer Barr helped her and her granddaughter after she got in a car accident. And although she only met him once, his generosity, his compassion is something that made a lasting impression on her. And Michelle Gant, she says she's an old friend and co-worker of Barr from when he was an EMT in Lexington County. She called him a godly man that dedicated his life to service.
He's the epitome, I honestly believe, of what God wants us all to be. Drew was a wonderful person who truly cared about helping others and less about getting things for himself.
So it's clear by just talking to a few people that knew Officer Barr personally that only at the age of 28, he has made such a lasting impact and legacy on this community as a first responder, and he will be missed by so many. I'm reporting in Columbia, Julia Kaufman, News 19, WLTX.
Julia, thank you. Earlier today, the Cayce Police Chief held a press conference on the death of Officer Barr. Here's what Cayce Police Chief Chris Cowan had to say.
Approximately 2:48 a.m. this morning, Cayce Police Department responded to a 911 call at 118 Rossmore Road in Cayce. Officers responded and encountered a male individual in the front yard. They made contact with the individual. As they were making contact with the individual, the male individual was in the front yard of the home. There were shots that came from inside the house. One of those shots struck and killed Officer Drew Barr. This incident occurred again this morning. Upon arrival, this male that was in the front yard, they weren't sure exactly what they had. They made contact with him. As they made contact with him, that's when the shots started. Officer Roy Drew Barr was 28 years of age. He was dedicated. He was married to this profession. He didn't have children. He didn't have a wife. He was married to this profession. He was a firefighter. He was an EMT, and he was a police officer. He was committed to this profession. He was committed to this community. He cared about nothing else other than serving this community. And he was shot and killed this morning for no reason. There was no call for it. There was no reason for it. It was inexcusable. He graduated the Criminal Justice Academy in 2017. He came to Cayce in 2016. He's been a police officer again for approximately 6 years. He was a canine unit. He was promoted to canine in October of 2020, and he loved his dog, Molly, and he loved his job. He loved being a canine officer, and he was good at it. He was good at not only interacting with children, with community, but also with the officers, his peers, as well as the citizens of our great city. He was a firefighter, he was an EMT, and he was a cop, and he loved this profession. We responded out to this scene, and for 7 hours, the Columbia Police Department negotiations team, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, the Lexington County Sheriff's Department, the Columbia Police Department, Richland County Sheriff's Department, Springdale, West Columbia, USCPD, South Carolina Highway Patrol. We had the support of every law enforcement agency in this area. Columbia Police Department negotiators attempted for 7 hours to negotiate a peaceful resolution to the situation, and ultimately the suspect took his life.
This is a still developing story, and we'll be sure to update you as more information becomes available, not only on air but also online on our website at WOLTX.com and on our News 19 mobile app. That's our time for now. We'll see you a little bit later today.
Thank you for watching News 19. Did you see a story you loved? Download WLTX on your Roku or Amazon Fire device and watch it again right now.